Hi, I'm Ayodeji.
Hi, I'm Kachie.
And welcome to The Square, a podcast where we have honest conversations about life, pop culture, and everything in between with casual conversations from a global perspective.
That's right. So if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you rate, review, subscribe, and share. And make sure you let people know how awesome it is.
All right, let's get into the episode. Enjoy.
Enjoy. Welcome back to another episode of The Square. I think before I do my intro for our fantastic guest, I need to say hi now. What's up now? How you doing?
Hi, Kachie. Hi, guest. Hi, everyone listening. This is me, one of your hosts. Life is dynamic. Let's go.
It was very dynamic. And today we have a very, very, very special, I think it's special because people talk about it, but they don't talk about it enough. And that's in terms of finance, not just storytelling, because today our guest is a true force at both. She basically has a great intersection between storytelling and finance. And she's the mind behind Noisy Streets. You know, Noisy Streets, where young African voices can get the spotlight they deserve. Oh, very important. And of course,
Streets
she's also
with two S's, by the way. Streets with two S's.
Exactly. And she's also the founder of the Mule. That's an investment collective that helps women shift from surviving to thriving, especially financially, because God knows we need that in this economy. So we're talking about a lot of building with intention, changing the money narrative for women, because we all know how that is right now. Okay. And also just basically owning your story and your assets. So let's all welcome Modupe Daramola.
Oh my gosh, wow, applause for me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. How are you doing today?
Okay,
girl?
thank you guys. It's good so far. I think today is the most rested I've been this entire week. Very hectic week. Very rainy in Lagos. So it's been very annoying.
I know, right? The weather has been giving.
So
the weather has been giving. Yes,
it's
work
giving
hard, but still
the
relax.
day of the floods. It's giving lower. And I live in Lekki, so best believe I've been swimming.
I even saw this video about Banana Island. Did you see that?
I saw that video. You know, I think I see the video of the one in Paris as well. And I was like, damn, that's Admiralty Way. Like, Paris was flooded. I was like, nah, that's Admiralty Way. It was flooded.
I'm so sorry. I can't relate to all these things, but shout out to you guys, though. Shout out to you.
So we should be swimming here. At least you know how to swim, Shalas.
Excellent swimmer, actually. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Black people that know how to swim are doing too much. That's my opinion.
I think more black people should know how to swim, considering you guys are surrounded by a riverine, you're in a riverine area. So you know how to be acquainted with your surroundings.
I just feel like black people don't need to know, seeing as our ancestors kind of were drowned during the Pan-Atlantic slave trade. Not to bring up a point that has nothing to do with why we can't swim. I'm just
clearly saying. But anyways, let us just start, because let's not go too far off topic. I know we're going to go off topic like mad today, but it's fine. You. I, as always, be the voice of reason to bring us back. I know to be on top of me, but it's okay.
How do you know I'm not?
I'm so confused. Who gave you this badge? Where's the badge?
Like,
I can't find it.
Anyways.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah. Anyways, let's just focus. Moving on. So let's just get into it. I guess is it? No, I'm not gonna mention that. I don't give a damn. Do that later. Let's just speak to our guests. It's a super duper guest focus episode, so we're just gonna keep it nice and light.
Oh my gosh. They call me super duper duper. By the way, guys, so that was so crazy, right? Because I'm so
before you came, Kachie, I said that Modupe is yin to my yang. She's like my opposite. She's so excited, left out. Literally.
Yeah, we've been really bouncing off each other. It's been giving like chemistry.
Wow, that's
literally
crazy. You guys didn't invite me to
I was so close to taking your spot.
You didn't invite me to this chemical party. That's some wild stuff, man. That's crazy. Okay.
No
Oh
problem.
my God.
No problem.
Next time, though, Cash, it's going to be me and you, okay?
Wink, wink. Right. Jesus Christ. Okay, anyways, as I said, I know this is going to be how it is. I know this is going to be fine. Anyways, but I guess let's just start. So in terms of, like, I guess outside looking in, who exactly is Modupe outside work? Like outside of the 1,000,010 things that you do, like how would you describe yourself?
Oh, like I'm a fun-loving Christian who like loves her friends, can't cook, and loves BTS.
It's crazy.
Sarangi guys.
That is personality. That is such a cool mix.
That is insane. But
I'm a very simple girl.
What?
Love my friends and love BTS.
And the canned cooking parts, Kachie, you have another person to join you on that boat that you're on. But it's fine.
It's not
I
my
can't cook
fault.
for political reasons.
But God, thank you.
I can cook for political reasons, actually. So
thanks.
shout out to me.
Okay. Shout out
for political reasons, I can't. Exactly.
For
if I need to,
reasons, I can't.
I'm gonna do my thing. But politically or unpolitically, I can't cook. Let's keep it like
We're trying to, honestly, we're reinventing the wheel. This is amazing. Love it.
I love this new dynamic.
Right. Okay. Well, so I like that. So I guess, you've mentioned a lot of things that are quite, important to your identity of CBTS, being a Christian. And I like how you identify yourself by your work, which is something I love. I think that people need to be people outside the things that they do, but more than not, we just our work define us as individuals. Terrible. But that's neither here nor there. So I guess obviously work talk aside and conversations around passions and things that keep us going every day by day. Nosy Streets, the Mule. Right, like, so how did that sort of come together? Particularly Nosy Streets. We'll come back to the Mule, but how did Nosy Streets come together?
Okay, I love this story because every time I say like I love BTS, people think like it's actually an isolated part of my life. But I find that my passion for K-pop and BTS lead directly to Nosy Streets.
Sorry, what is BTS? I beg. I just know it's like some kind of K-drama music.
Cut the cameras. How dare you?
My Siri
on
went
behalf
off.
of K-pop fans and stars.
No, on a real then that's the thing. Life is.
You're the one that's always saying you don't want to be dragged, and you put yourself.
No,
inside.
and do you know the funny thing? I'm happy.
BTS, I love you. And if you ever see this, I'm not part of them. I love you. BTS, I'm an army.
BTS, I want to understand what you are. What is BTS? Because I know BTS sounds like behind the scenes.
Biggest boy band in the world. No, it's Bangtan Soyeondan, which is back, like not behind the streams. Bangtan Soyeondan. Okay.
I can't even pronounce that.
Ayodeji thinks you're talking about Nollywood.
Legitimately, I had no idea what this is about. Shout out to Bangtan.
You need to globalize your music taste.
My music taste is very much local. I like local music.
And it's quite obvious. That's quite obvious.
You ain't gotta say that.
That's quite obvious.
I like a localized sound. Okay, so Korean music.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So BTS. So I became a BTS army, which is what they call BTS stans.
Army
during COVID. Okay, all right, I'm a BTS army. And like when I first became an army, I was so like obsessed. Like I was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, like I must marry one of them first of all. Namjoon. I was married first of all. But then because I was thinking like, okay, to be honest, I don't think I can marry this man. I don't think I can meet the boy band. I don't think they even get to know me if I go through the fan route. So how about I go through the like celebrity route as well? Like how can I become a celeb, right? So I gathered my friends and I was like, guys, look at my mission. I want to meet BTS, right? And I need you guys to think, like, what are my talents? Let's explore talents. What can I do? And I focus on, like, I'm 5 years, boom, I'm blown. And, like, BTS are like, oh, my God, I know you. You're cool. And I'm like, yeah, I want to get married to one of you, actually. Namjoon, please come out. That was my plan. Like, that was actually my mindset. Obviously, not to marry, but, like, I think I wanted to really, really meet BTS. So I gathered my friends and we're like, okay, so what are your talents? And they were like, okay, how about like singing? I sang. They were like, no, obviously can't walk. Right. They were like, okay, like a professional sport. It's well. And they were like, okay, professional sports. And I was like, it's too late for that. And then they were like, okay, how about you revive your blog? Because I had a blog earlier in uni when I was in first year at Durham.
Okay.
And it was a law blog and like stuff and like lifestyle. So they were like, okay, how about you revive that and become like a popular blogger? And I was like, sure. Okay, I'll do that. That was how Noisy started. Like, that was it. I went back home and I was like, okay, plan, meet BTS. Let's start. Like, this is it. And then that's how Noisy Street started. Like, literally was like, I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. That's exactly how Noisy Street started.
But then what were you blogging about? What was the blogging? Because obviously I wouldn't imagine you were still blogging about law.
Right. So I was not blogging about law. I was blogging about legal jurisprudence, which is quite like interesting because if I wanted to meet BTS, obviously I should become like an entertainment blogger.
Sorry. I always say that this podcast, my cousin that's like 13 can listen to it. What is legal jurisprudence? God help me.
Please don't kill me. Normal. the philosophy behind our law, just them like Immanuel Kant, all those people. So just like I like to explore topics that are like philosophical, like death penalty, very much race and essentialism, gender essentialism, Black feminism, jurisprudence. So I used to research and actually like write about that. I'd also had like a book review and music review section on the blog. I also had like a photography section as well because I loved taking pictures at the time. And then I also had like a little social and lifestyle part I had going on. So I think generally like it was things in my head that were in that blog. And the blog doesn't exist now, like it's closed down, but I still look at it sometimes and it's so colorful. And that's because in my head, it's so colorful. Like it's never one thing with me. It's always like a multicolored world in my head where I like so many things and I want to excel at all the things I do and I want to do them so well. So that was how Noisy Streets kind of was, the blog. It was, you could see like philosophy, legal stuff. I talked about social stuff. There was a time I wrote an essay about jewelry because I really love jewelry. And I wrote a whole thing about jewelry and the meaning behind the jewelry that we wear. And then another time I was talking about film reviews. I'll do like K-pop reviews. I'll do song reviews. I'll do playlists. I'll do like Wattpad girl songs. It was so random, but I think I just felt happy having my own space to put my thoughts out. Like that's exactly how I felt like with Noise Streets. It was my own like little world where I just did my own thing.
Yeah, so you just want to sort of get your voice out, get your message out, and get, some sort of coherent sense of ideas out that can be easily accessed by people.
This was in 2020 and 2021. I think I had like this very narcissistic view that my opinion is never wrong and I have the best opinions in the world. So I think it started from there. Like I was like, my opinions are probably right. Sure. And because I'm a lawyer as well, I always like pull out facts to back up.
Yeah, you can convince people.
Yeah,
you can try to convince at the very least. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that still the reality till now, or that was sort of how the evolution started? Okay.
But there's less arrogance now, right?
Sure.
Because but still the same kind of opinions are always right. Like argue with your mom.
Vibes. Sure, no problem.
Thank you. Okay, so when I started Noisy Streets, it was just me that did all the designs, writing, websites. I actually created a thing by myself as well on Wix. When I started law school in Nigeria, I hired a social media manager just to do like the content distribution and stuff. That was 2021. Then I let her go after law school or my bar one. Managed it by myself until like 2023 or so, where I started like building a small team. So I started building a small team from 23. And now I have a team of like 5 people. Yeah, five people that I work with and are all my full-time. Wow. They all work full-time. We all work full-time for Noisy Streets, all in our different roles.
Paying salary, Kachie. Are you seeing?
Like,
doing
hey, God.
You.
Doing
Glory to Jesus. To God be the glory. If not for Jesus.
So basically, before you ask any other questions, why Noisy Streets with 2 S's? By the way, what's the back story behind actually getting that as a name? Like you could have picked anything else, so you picked Noisy Streets.
Why? Yeah. So obviously, after my friends we had all decided that like my talent was writing and blogging. Obviously, I was now like, okay, let me buy the domain name. Let me like figure out a name for the website. Let me figure out a name for the blog. And I obviously like, once again, I gathered my community. Like one thing about me is that I always gather a crowd. Like, guys, okay, let's all community thinking. I love that like group think kind of thing. So I was like, guys, what name do you guys think will be good for this like blog? I don't want to say blog that is kind of that sounds like it should be something, right? I don't want to say blog that tells you what exactly it is. So obviously, if I had gone with the legal baddie, people would be expecting like a legal baddie. But they would have also gotten that, right? Great. But I want a name that could shock them, right? Like I want a name that it will be so all-encompassing and like limitless. And I spoke about that when I was writing the forward of our anthology, that I wanted a name that was kind of very, very, very bold, very like, you won't know until you kind of check it out, right? Yeah. And then you see many things, but you're not shocked because you can't say, oh, the name is one thing, but how come I'm seeing this here? obviously I turned to the name of above, I turned to the name of above all of that names, God Almighty. I was like, God Almighty, please, I need you for an inspiration. This group thing is failing me, right? I was like, God, your name is above all of that name. You're the King of Kings, God of Lords. I need a name. Father, I need a name. So I flipped through the Bible and came across a verse. I think it's Proverbs 1:21. And yeah, that's exactly it. I thought about how like wisdom as a woman, and I was like, real, because wisdom is a woman, because women are always wise, right?
Period.
And then the I didn't kill me.
Ayodeji, do you have your throat? You look parched.
Huh?
You see,
No, I'm listening
You
like
sure?
intently. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
good. Yeah.
We love an intentional listener. So yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. And the verse goes something like, "Oh, wisdom is a woman, and she is sharing her knowledge on noisy streets." And in that context, the Bible uses noisy streets as a platform where wisdom, who is this woman, comes to share her knowledge. And I was like, to be honest, this is a perfect name, right? The verse makes it look like noisy streets is a platform where someone has come to share something. So why not just take that name, right? Obviously, in the Bible, it's not two H's, it's one S, right? So I obviously love the name. I think like it was like love at first sight for me. I was like, oh my gosh, his name is sexy. So I now go and I try to register the name on like the website. I try and buy the domain name noisystreets.com. Get there. One forward thinking, brilliant asshole has obviously like bought the name Noisy Streets with one S right before me. Big ups, because you have to be like an intelligent person to like buy that domain name. So I was like, oh wow, crap, I love this name, though I don't want to lose this name. So I was like, what does a baddie do? Like, she just adds one S.
Why didn't you just message him and ask if you can buy it from him?
They will not sell it to me for like $200.
Kojo.
You don't know. You can sell it to you for like 30 or something.
I know them. Actually, no, so I was like, okay, I just added one S. And you know what? To God be all the almighty glory, right? Because I now own the name noisystreets.com with one S. Can we just give thanks? Because I think so the person
do it.
like God is good. The person forgot to renew the subscription.
So you now stole it.
Snap and bought it.
Sorry,
so now guess who owns noisystreets.com?
You girl. Listen.
So why didn't you then change back? Or you're like, I'm too far down this rabbit hole, I can't go back.
So it's obviously like now it's above me now, right? It's not a branding decision because
that's what I'm saying. You're too far down the rabbit hole. You're like,
I have a when you said that, when you mentioned the Proverbs 1, I basically was thinking like, since it's noisy streets, maybe this is just me being funny, but somebody you think if you're really going into Bible verses, wouldn't it have been like John 2, where Jesus was whipping people inside the markets? That's some noisy streets. Like,
yeah. And it's so interesting because if I unintentionally like painted the image of like a noisy place, right, with that name and like with noisy content.
It was noisy.
Right? So, someone has come to me thinking like, oh my God, you people use a lot of brown, but brown is not a noisy color. I was like, human beings always spell things, like things that you didn't even think of, they'll come and think of it. So we initially had to go back and think like as a brand, even though brand is still there, because I'm quite stubborn about what I want. But we've just like kind of built the story around it. Now, so noisystreets.com with one S will now redirect to noisy streets with two S's rather than just changing the whole thing.
Oh, so you have the two now. So you have the two.
I have the two forever and ever.
Wow.
As long as my God reigns on air. Bring champion.
Oh my
God, Jesus Christ. yeah.
Nah, I love
so
that.
That's the story. It's not even that touching as to why I have one of that. I thought maybe I need to form like a deep story around this, but to be honest, it's just like being persistent.
I think this is deep enough. I think it's honest and contextual.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah, and it gives space for people to kind of give their own interpretation to it, because since besides the financial part, even if you're writing stories about people, it's like a noisy street has, let's say, like an express in like Yaba or something. They're different people. This is just the aesthetic woke version explanation I'll give you. There are plenty of people with different stories, whether or not they're set out there or they're not.
Real.
I say what? Get me? So it's a lot of
like I'm feeling like I'm on your vibe right now. I'm not gonna lie.
There's so many people with their different stories. It's noisy, but it's not, because people's voices are still being heard. But besides the street, there's a story to tell. Hey, I must see
If you were
now.
the pastor, I would have stood up right now for you.
Coming
You know how people rush
soon.
pastors?
Coming soon.
Like your church. Coming.
Thank you. We like your
Sure,
patronage.
sure, no problem.
We'll be sharing offering now. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. You see, this is how it goes. Church formats. I don't blame you people though. It's fine.
She needs money for the kingdom. And
Sure.
I have a kingdom financier. Kachie, I'll see you in the DMs.
God bless you. You are blessed.
That's so insane. I will not see you in DMs. I'm not financing that. Okay. Anyways, but thank you so much for that. So I guess, I'm glad that we just got that clarified. It's very important. I think it's very intentional as well that, that you need to, have the courage of your conviction and, stick to the ideas that you have. And it's always nice when we hear that a fellow sister has been led by the Spirit to pursue things in a certain way. So I do appreciate that on a very honest and genuine level. So that's sort of Noisy Street one-to-one side. And then obviously as a woman of many talents, the Mule, right?
Yeah.
And that's a bit more interesting. But can you just, I guess, tell us what it does and why you started it? And I guess where the name comes from as well, since we want to be consistent with the line of questioning.
Yeah, with why. To be honest, I'm known for having great names for things. Like, just say, I'm a good namer. Like, I'm looking forward to whatever my kids will be named in the future. Because I'm I wonder what I wonder what I'm going to come up with. I have this really cool Instagram. It's called July in Beijing. And it's where I just post so many things, photos and stuff. And someone came, I was like, how do you want to be Daniel? I'm just good. I'm gifted. When it comes to naming, I'm gifted.
Yeah.
Good. Just kidding. So the Mule, this is I'm a lawyer, right? I studied law in university. I'm a qualified lawyer in Nigeria. Although I am now a finance baddie, I did my NYC at an investment bank in Lagos, and that's exactly what happened. So I went there as legal, though. So I used to work as part of the legal counsel team. However, along the line, HR came to me and was like, my girl, you're too good. We think that you excel in finance. And I was like, oh, wait, word? Okay, I've never thought about this before, but let's see, what happened. So I was literally in the middle of my NYC where they yanked me out of the legal department. And then I started working in the company full-time, and I started working under, finance roles and stuff. At first, I didn't like it. It was really daunting. People think that lawyers don't know math, and I think I kind of grew up with that mindset that, I don't know math, and I don't like math. I can't use Excel. Oh my gosh, what is Excel? So it was really, really daunting for me to be in that role and have no finance knowledge, just here and just being trained, even though the company was training me along the way. So I ended up writing a super hard finance exam as well in the middle of that. CFA, right? Body, so random. I just looked and said I must do CFA. And then when I wrote the exam, I ended up being really good at math. That was so crazy. I was like, wait, what the hell? I'm good at math? I was like, what? That shocked me, to be honest. Till now, I'm still shocked. I can't believe it. I'm like, am I actually so what? Why was I made to feel like I can't be good at math in secondary school?
It's an agenda they push against you guys. And to be fair, there's a lot of enabling. It doesn't make sense because I think you should, I'm not saying it should be a requirement, but I think that's, they should let you guys have a go.
Yeah. So ended up liking math, ended up loving portfolio management. In fact, I used to go to a school in VI weekends and then study after work. And there was a course that I taught myself entirely because I was like, I just feel like the connection between me and this course is just supernatural. I don't need to be taught. I can read. So I read portfolio management all by myself, did really well in TFA. Then I ended up liking asset management. It was so crazy. I was like, I didn't think this would be possible. Every time you mention finance, I'd be like, leave that to the boys, leave that to the finance bros. And because my office is very bro dominated, right? Even though they love gender equality in my office, right? It's still very much finance. Finance, I think, has been very male-centered. So even in the minor things, in the linguistic they use and the talking and the way they are so arrogant with their knowledge, is such a male thing that it always turned me off every time when they talked about it. So I thought I would be very appalled to like learn anything about finance. So doing this exam really shocked me because I was like, I like this thing and I think I can excel at it, right? So when I left the company, I still wanted to keep my finance knowledge, and I now formed a new aim in life. I wanted to be an asset manager. I want to be an asset manager. I want to manage funds, right? And I want to manage funds for women. But then obviously in the spirit of what I've learned from Noisy Streets and how I've learned to start things and grow into things is how I started the Mule, right? So the Mule is the early onset plan I have to start my own asset management company, using this to manifest it. Father, Lord, hear me now, right? That I want to be an asset manager, own my own asset management company, and have funds that like for women, like women focused funds as well. And that's how the Mule started. And that's what it is about. It's like a community of women who I just teach finance stuff, like make it, what's the word? I demystify it, right? It's not that hard. The language sounds hard, but it's not that hard. It's actually quite easy. It's very straightforward. So once one of my friends said something one day, she was like, oh, like, can I invest based off of colors, like the colors of the stocks? And I was like, that's so crazy. You're so funny. I was like, that's hilarious. I was like, don't do that, but that's so funny, right? And then I realized that many women that I know invest based on things like colors, names, things they hear, right? Things they hear people are saying, just very, very simple things like that. Or even worse, right? They invest in, and they put all their money in a Nigerian savings account with a bank, right? Don't do that. But that was what I started the Mule for. I was targeting women who kind of felt daunted by the entire system and wanted to learn finance and invest better.
So were you always like good with finances, or is there a situation where you had to learn the hard way? Because you seem like, as much as you're always right or you have the knowledge for it, there has to be maybe you do, which is fine. But I mean, everybody has some kind of maybe personal money story. Like even as you said, okay, don't put it in savings skinny. Was it maybe, is there like a scam story? Was there a situation where you just had a light bulb moment, or like was there something like, because this is coming from, even if you have knowledge of it, sometimes experience also is the best teacher, and there might be something else that maybe you did not experience it all, but it is part of your experience. So is there something that you think that's happened that maybe it's not the hardest way, but you are like, oh, you know what, besides creating the Mule, this is definitely one of the foundation points or something like that, even at a personal level, not just your work?
I'm still bad with my money.
Nice.
Oh, okay, there we go. That's great answer.
Nice.
Like I'm still like,
I don't know.
having the knowledge is not the same thing as having the spirits of being a savings.
Word.
You have to. And because of like my family dynamic, where I kind of grew up in a family where my dad provided, so I'd never had a savings mentality growing up. It was always like, whatever you wanted, that would give you money.
I promise you, we're gonna come back to this women and savings things. I swear, we're coming back to it.
You've triggered Ayodeji.
Let's go
Don't
there.
worry.
We'll go there.
No, not yet.
Not yet. There's time for everything.
We are going somewhere. Don't worry.
Yeah, go on.
So I kind of grew up like that, where my dad, my mom, they just kind of gave me money whenever I wanted anything. Uni, I didn't have to work or anything. My dad always provided. I didn't have to like work through school. Thankfully, like my dad just gave me money whenever I wanted. So I never just had a mentality to save towards something, or to like put my money aside to save for a holiday or to buy something. We're just always like, spend your money, right? Go out, buy nice things, buy some makeup, buy expensive things. Just have money in your account, right?
Just have something.
Yeah, just have money in your account. Like that was kind of my mindset, even till now. Like, it kind of is, but obviously I'm now more mature and I'm now like, be so serious, right? But I think I've always just kind of been interested in the stock markets generally. I think I've just liked hearing about like trading, buying and selling, right? Wolf of Wall Street, like marketers open, marketers close. Like, I don't know, I just feel like my blood used to pump when I heard those words.
I think movies over glamorize what's happening there.
They really do. They really do.
They do, right? And then when I was in second year in uni, I was an unintentional victim of a pyramid scheme, right?
Hey,
right?
You're
And
kidding.
it was even in pounds, right, in the UK.
Oh,
So it
what?
wasn't even like there was this, and yeah.
You
so
give someone money to money doubling.
No, that was not what I did. Wait, let me explain.
You had
I didn't money
crazy
doubling.
returns and you gave him the
Sterling?
money.
No. So let me tell you how they told me. No, let me tell you how they told me. Right, this babe that I knew in college came and
As
said
is
that
always a
she's part of
babe.
an organization
Sure.
that they taught her how to invest in the stock market. Right.
Oh,
So for me,
bruh.
that was like my ring. I was like, oh my God, I just wanted to learn this thing, right?
Yeah, I
and she
would
was
give it
like,
to that
she
too.
made it seem like she got her money from stocks. And she was like, so this financial education scheme, you
Sure.
pay into it, and then
They'll
you become
teach
like a trainee, right? And then you also bring people in.
Oh, I
But
know
like
that
you
thing.
also,
Two plus two
yeah,
is
You
you
have
four.
to
also
go and
like
bring more
learn.
people in.
Four is
Yes.
It
And then
it sounds fucked up, but they want you to go and win souls. Is that
Yeah.
kind of kingdom mentality?
Amen.
something. Yeah, you want something, right? Anyway, so I think I was
Yeah. You just wanted to learn. That's how
was
they
that
got
learning
you.
part. Yes,
Oh,
like
brother.
because I was investing. By the time I paid like something so crazy, I now like was onboarded into like a platform where you could trade. But then I was like, okay, so where's the learning? Like, okay, how do I like? She was like, oh, this is not actually a girl. Like, you have to find. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what? She was like, oh yeah, I need to now become like a teacher. I need to start like recruiting people in.
That's how you
And then
make
I
your
was like,
money.
yeah, I was like, now I was so sad. I actually blocked her because I was like, you know what, you took me for a fool and for an idiot, right?
She took you for idiots, but it's normal. It's okay. Don't worry. You learn. That's the best way to learn, really.
Yeah. And I think that was my, like, if I had a terrible story, that would be it. All right. I literally fell for a pyramid scheme. Like, I don't think I even ever say those words out loud because I can't believe it sometimes. Like,
It's fine.
they might see you.
At least it wasn't MMM or those other Nigerian pyramid schemes.
Kujo. I cannot even join that one. That one is quite clear. But this one, I was fully convinced based on the I can't even believe that one. Come on now, haba. 100K for 2 million. How?
So just to quickly segue, for the sake of completeness in conversation, and I think you've highlighted some things that maybe Kachie can empathize with you, or maybe she understands where you're coming from in terms of how women are often left out of investment considerations in Nigeria. So why do you think that men don't bring women in terms of their decisions to invest or their pursuit for returns?
We live in a men's world, like MENSE, men's world.
Nice. So patriarchy is yours.
Like, yeah, I believe that, right? And I'm quite shocked, really. Sometimes I wonder, like, what is the foundation of this thinking? Like, what is the root cause of some of the things that we believe in sometimes? Because you find that men generally, and it's even something that informed my decision about the Mule and not making the Mule for the general public, but for women specifically.
Yeah, because you hate men, but it's fine.
No. Hey, guys, BTS.
Don't go there.
BTS, I love you. BTS, I love you. Don't listen to that man.
Don't
BTS,
go there.
Sarange.
No, sorry. You hate Nigerian men. Let me just bring it back like that.
This is coming from a sentimental place, but
real.
okay.
Yeah, but men don't listen to women, right? So it's so subtle, but men don't listen to women.
To be honest,
even working as noisy streets and giving some instructions to my team and my colleague, right, and saying, do this way. The people that give me the biggest issues are the men, right? They don't listen to me.
Pushback comes from the men.
I wish they even push back with sense. It's just that they like once I open my mouth, it's like their head just goes like it's gone. And they hear what they want to hear. It's the same thing with working in finance, right? A bunch of men who gather and like increase their volumes and yell like about stocks and things, and you're trying to find your space there to tell them that, oh no, guys, what do we think about this? It happens, and it's so interesting. Like, it's so subtle sometimes that women are overlooked. And the simple cause is that we live in a men's world. People tend to take things more seriously when a man is involved, when a man is, there, when a white man is there, right? When a white straight male is there telling you things. People think, oh my God, that's the flag of authenticity. This man has vetted it and put his mark of approval on it. So it definitely is correct, right? You find that people tend to take women less seriously as well. And they think, this is not Barbie, this is not BTS. So like, why are you here? Like, focus on that. Like, yeah.
I mean, like all jokes aside, especially with the you hating men comment, I think there's lots of truth in what you say, because this sort of message does echo through. Like, I remember listening to something that was when I said what I said about how Kemi's driver carried her to her house because he said that he said that she's been out for too long, and she said she's been out for too long and said she must go home, and forced her to go to her house. This is her driver, right? And so many sort of situations where male staff or subordinates, whatever you want to call them, often blatantly disregard their female superiors, right? Or women that are their superiors, however you want to coin it. And I think there's lots of it's rather unfortunate, but I think that is the reality of the Nigerian society. So I hear it. I think women-led and women-focused initiative makes sense, because I think that the upside is a lot higher. It brings more parity to our society. I don't know why she's stunned. Have I said anything that's insane?
I am in shock. Like, what? Why?
I heard that story before, that the driver drove her
home.
I just drove her.
I said, no, it's time to go home.
He just took her home. They were meant to go out. She said no. She has to go home.
He said, Ma, please be so serious, let's go home.
What if her helper was outside, or the actual husband she was looking for was outside at that time, and he now took her home? Wow.
So you have to be prayerful.
That's crazy.
You have to be prayerful.
Yeah, I think you just need staff that can be, but I just think men as a whole, we need to be more receptive to things that women have to say and be understanding of their positions in societies as our equals, right? And I think there's a lot of work to be done, but I do appreciate this. I think it makes a lot of sense. And I guess in terms of, as an aside, right? What are sort of the cultural and societal norms you're trying to challenge or push back on, or essentially work on, so that we can improve as a people and as a wider society?
I am myself, I'm a living protest, right? I stand against not the side eye.
I don't even know what that means. I was about to say, as in how.
It means that my life choices sometimes are rooted in intentionally on doing things that have stood against me, right? So for example, now I don't listen to men. Like when a man is telling me things, I blank out. And I come back and I say, what did you say? Right, so he knows that I'm not listening.
I'm on a shirt.
I don't listen to you. Men. I don't I find it so hard, and now it's become a thing that I just do now. It's also bad. I actually don't hear what you said. It's so hard for me to manage. Sometimes somebody yesterday was asking me why am I not polite? And I'm like, what have you done that I owe you my politeness, really, as a man, that you think that you can just call me like this and demand my time without my consent,
Crazy.
But I think that I'm just, besides intentionally define those things by actively acting like the opposite, right? So I give you fire for fire. If you are rude to me, I have to be for you times 5. But I'm also trying to build a system at work where I put women in place in higher positions, not because I am sexist towards the male, which is not technically possible, right?
There's no such thing.
Right. There's no such thing, right?
You can be prejudiced, though. Prejudice is a thing. It's a better way to define it, but I think you can.
Let me move my bang.
Rest. I'm trying to agree with you, so you should be thankful. But yes, prejudice.
Let me move my bang. Yeah, against men. Let me move my bang.
Sure.
Let me move my bang. I was just joking, but I try to. At my office, I try to really push for the women to speak louder and be more assertive. Even the way they suggest ideas to me, and the confidence that they invest in for the male, and annoys the way they present their ideas to me, and the way they deal with external parties. I always remind them that, look, if you were a man here, no one would have held him back before he said these things to me. But you need to confidently say your bullshit to me and let me tell you that this is bullshit, right? Because men do this all the time. Whether or not I ask you for ideas or I ask them for ideas or I ask them to suggest something, they're coming always. Like they're always coming with new things and new ideas, things that I should hear, right? Because they think I must hear them. But you're very gentle, passive, calm, there with you, overflowing with ideas. And I'm always encouraging that kind of environment whereby everyone can speak freely, but even, it's more like, it's not even equality for me. It's like equity, right? I need to give you a higher pedestal to stand on, just so you are even level with your male counterparts in this company.
Sure.
And yeah, even within my little space, I'm just trying to do the best I can do. And I'm also, like, as a leader, I'm trying to be the best I can, right? So these people see me and they say, Dupsy is a baddie now. How about, like, come on, like, she's standing for something and she's saying something and her voice is so, she's so bullshitty and she doesn't care about anything she says. You have to listen to her. When someone once told me that I have the audacity of a man, and I'm like, that's so crazy. I have Dupsy audacity. Not even a man can parallel with this kind of audacity that I have. You have to, like, constantly know that you're one of one in this whole planet, or only one of you, Beyonce, my queen, right? One of one. So you just have to know that besides God Almighty and your parents, someone can really beat you.
Sure.
Stand strong. So I'm trying to build that mindset. Yeah.
Sure. Hands up. And obviously, there's this, like I said, we're still trying to push and challenge societal norms, so there is obviously this idea or this misconception or stereotype or however you want to coin it, that when women tend to gain a certain level of finances or affluence, they tend to spend more of their money on, perhaps, as some people say, different sorts of things. They look into investing their money into their beauty, fashion items, lifestyle apparatus and things of that nature.
Ask this question with your full chest.
At least women are investing in their beauty and their finances. When men have money, they spend on women. When men have beauty in Lagos,
he said you're investing your money in beauty. And nigga, say this question properly, Joe. What are you saying?
Even Joe, when men have money to that level, they spend on women.
I'm just trying to get at, if you guys will give me a chance to learn.
Sorry, I just say you should ask the question well. Sorry, don't vex.
Thank you. Is that it comes across as though women are more inclined to spending their money on items which include, but are not limited to, fashion, beauty, and lifestyle, right? And I want to understand, right, if that is the case, or if, again, it could just be a stereotype or a misconception.
Yeah, it is a huge misconception. It's not true.
Okay,
I know that.
Lies. Just lies.
From my end. Lies. I mean, I spend on fashion, beauty, lifestyle, whatever. All those vices, I do them and I spend on them. Right?
Vices, okay, that's a nice word to use. Sure.
Not in the way that.
Are you not copying what Ayodeji is doing?
No, don't mind him. Don't mind him.
I'm literally just having a conversation.
But not in a way that is because I've come into money now, and so I'm now overloading and overspending, and I'm going crazy on steroids and just spending like a spendthrift, right? Or just doing whatever I want to do. I actually think that it is men that do that. It is men that, when they get into their first 100 million, they first of all have to get 2 side chicks minimum, right? Facts. Like facts. And I've even lived that experience where, like, I can be going on a walk. I can be like jogging. Right, or I can be just the basic things in Lekki, and I'll have like several Prados, right, pulling up and saying like
apostrophe S apostrophe. Which one?
Use your imagination.
Exactly.
Okay. Use your imagination. Right? Okay. Use the imagination. Sure. Like offering me, like someone has offered me like a stack of dollars before, telling me that if I want to just be he's ready to fund my lifestyle.
That sounds pretty nice.
He looks like a dad
to fund my lifestyle.
Like men are here sending women like hundreds of millions to buy houses, to furnish apartments, go on holidays, right? How many women here are doing that? Women are stingy as fuck. Women are stingy.
Yes, and and that's what I'm glad we are unearthing this conversation, right? Because my thing is that if you want to allege that the affluent men spend their affluence on women, that's one conversation to be had. But my thing is that what do women spend their money on? Since, for example, you've alleged that they don't spend large proportions of it on the lifestyle, the beauty, and the fashion, where does the chunk of their finances go? What are the spending patterns like?
Yeah, women save a lot.
So they are saving.
Yeah, women save a lot.
Okay.
And let me use Lagos as my sample size, right? Let me use Lagos, and then I'll use London, and then I'll use more,
That's so
traditional
That's first I'm hearing about this saving
traditional
thing.
conservative.
Ever.
Really. So from my side, and from where, like, from the finance end, when I worked at the bank, an investment bank, and when I, as in my capacity as the Mule, women save their money, right? They may not save it the right way, but women are buying gold, right? Women are putting their money in so jewelry, like jewelry that can last.
Okay, so fashion
that
items.
has, like,
yeah.
no fashion items, gold.
Yeah, that's it's not like you're buying a brick. You're wearing something you can wear and take it out.
Gold is not a fashion asset. Gold is a commodity.
Yeah, sure, but it's in the sense of when you keep it to store it as a brick. But if you take it out for the purposes of looking good and and adding to your look and your general vibe and aesthetic, it can be covered as a fashion item. If I buy gold today,
and I wear it in my ear, sure. But nothing is diminishing the value of gold in because I've worn it, right?
Of course not. No.
So using Lagos as my sample size, a lot of women save their money, right?
Okay.
And because we even have a culture where men are the providers, women generally do not spend on themselves in Lagos. You probably have a boyfriend that funds your beauty maintenance, your beauty stuff. You probably have a sugar daddy that's there toasting you and is giving you money. You probably work hard, right? Many women work and have a lot of money that they have many side hustles that they use to fund their own beauty maintenance or their own lifestyle. But there are many more female millionaires in Lagos than you think. They may not be saving it in the right way. So, i.e., what I say, like stocks and commodities, what they do is like put it in piggy vest or put it in like a
shout out to piggy vest.
Shout out to
piggy vest, right? Or put it in a Nigerian savings account, or even just hold it in cash.
Shout out to GTB and under your bed.
Yeah, under your bed or like your pot. But I find that in communities, particularly that have a culture of men being the provider, women take advantage of that and save their money.
Okay.
Right.
So based on what Modupe is saying, Kachie, so you as an example now, so between your workplace, your boyfriend, your side boyfriend, how do you divide all the money you're collecting? How do you divide it?
Personally, how do I do that?
Because numerous streams of income.
Why are we putting Kachie on the spot?
No, I'm just asking as a lady, because as a man, I don't have these opportunities.
As a fairy.
I don't have these things. I don't have these.
As a lady, as a fairy.
I'm screaming, don't kill me.
However you want to coin it, but as a lady of interest that they're looking for, between Modupe and the Prados and then Kachie and the mainland, how do we sort of do these, all the inflow? How do we apportion it week by week?
That's the thing, like it's, obviously like life is dynamic. There are different things that can come up. Like in this sustainable economy, you can wake up now, fuel is 2,000 naira. We don't know. Real. So I can't even give you like a very basic question, but based on what I do right now, I still, even with my salary, that honestly, that's what I'm talking about. But even with what I earn, besides other side jobs I do, I try and make sure that I save anyhow. Even if it's going to hurt me, I know that what I'm putting there or putting aside is going to help me for the future. So personally, that's what I do. I also incorporate looking good on a budget, right? I like expensive things. I like good things. As
looking good on a budget.
Yes, I was put on this earth to be soft, but you have to sometimes work your way up to proper softness, whether or not your parents can provide for you, especially when you're now trying to stand as a woman of your own, you're earning your own money and all that. There are ways that you have to be a bit wiser with your funds, because regardless of even if you're a billionaire kid and you can still get those funds, you still have to have your own
manifesting that, Lord.
Period. Or my billionaire's wife, all those things that are in foresight. You get what I mean? So in any case, you still have to know what your you have to stand on your adulting perspective as to what do you want, how do you want to start having discipline as to whatever you're keeping aside or whatever you're doing now, whether or not you're still going to progress in the future and have maybe businesses or more money, you still have that discipline that follows you. So I've been disciplining myself to make sure I'm saving as much as I want to look good. There are times where There are ways I can get my hair done or my nails or anything done, but it doesn't have to be the most ostentatious prices. Of course, there are times I want to sit down, give me some champagne, and they're like, let me chill. But then there's sometimes I also prioritizing having different plugs, right? So I personally have been able to have these different avenues. So whichever part of time I want to apply this, like even if I want to do this based on lifestyle example, because I know that's what you want to hear. Based on lifestyle example, I can be able to go here, go there, but I'm not at so much of a loss. Because, I mean, as I said, I've had a discussion with you before this. I work far from home, right? And as much as I even want to save, there's some jobs where whether or not your salary is okay enough. Look at fuel prices. That's the best example I could use. You're spending more than 50-60% of your salary just fueling your car. Besides, if one tire decides to escape,
that's serious.
Besides your bumper decided, all that kind of stuff. And then besides family stuff, anything can come about. So it's not always just about women trying to do lifestyle. I mean, it's kind of important because we are women. You would want to speak to a well-groomed woman. You don't want to now
Who is
say
the you? Who is the you?
You know what I'm talking about.
Who?
And in any
Don't call
case,
my name.
imagine you see one babe outside. When you look at her and say, this woman must not be saving very well. Maybe she's not saving her money well. She's not putting her money into lifestyle. No, you want to say that because you see a nice little bad bitch that you want to talk to.
I think it's important to have a very healthy saving habit. And I think that it is a consequence of adult conversation. So it would come up.
Yeah, it will come up regardless.
Kachie, do you invest your money like you said?
Yes, I save. I didn't used to invest a lot before because I was on that. I mean, that's a group chat of not knowing much about investment, which is very contradictory with my parents. But I just didn't have the best knowledge about it. But currently now, I am more or less in that line of learning more about
What does that mean?
Equity.
What does that mean? How?
As you mentioned, piggyvest. I'm saving and I'm investing in some things.
She mentioned piggyvest as what not to do. You have said you are inside the piggyvest. Oh, my bad.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know that. I actually...
I didn't say that to piggyvest people.
She said not to use piggyvest. Roll the tape. We need to play it back.
It's so funny. I didn't hear you.
Roll the tape. I didn't say that. I said what people are doing. I said what women are doing. I said what they are doing.
These are the things not to do in a savings account or load piggyvest. Piggyvest are using your money to go and do money doubling. They are using it to go and invest.
No.
No problem.
I only... But no, the thing with it is, it's not like I'm honed on to piggyvest. Piggyvest is just one of the...
You will lock your money. You're telling yourself, I'm doing one thing.
I don't even do much with piggyvest. I just actually started trying to deal with you. I don't do much piggyvest. I actually have myself banks, but even banks can fail you still as well. So there's somebody banks can fail you still. You can never.
Your bank is failing you. How is your bank failing you?
No, I said banks can. It's just a general blanket.
And how? What does that look like? What is the failure of a bank?
Do I look like this customer care? I don't understand.
My question for you is that are you like risk averse or like risk seeking when you invest? Like, are you happy to crypto? Stuff like that. Like,
there's not one crypto wallet somewhere.
That's the thing. I mean,
okay. So are you a risk taker naturally?
I'm a risk taker naturally.
Like,
yes.
will you take risk with your money? Like, will you risk?
I've taken risk with my money already.
They chopped all the money.
Oh no, they chop all the money.
Chop small, Abby.
Hello. Kachie, do you know where I am? Don't worry.
Oh, sure.
There's one that has chopped me sharp, but it wasn't even necessarily, it was almost like that kind of situation that Modupe went through with the whole 2 to 2 to 2 to 2. And I was in my earlier stages, and it wasn't necessarily a friend, but it was somebody I knew. But I kind of already expected, I try and go into these things without heavy expectations of returns. That's why it's almost like when you're borrowing somebody money, borrow what you think you can let go if they don't pay you back. That kind of thing. So I try and go with that mindset. I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I have to apologize to myself and have regrets.
Sure.
But at least even if experience can still teach you, even if it's teaching you nonsense, I would be able to take that lesson with my full chest, not regrets. So yeah.
Having said that, so what do you think is a very common financial mistake that you see that women make when they are managing their finances?
I think I've been saying it all day. Saving in Nigerian savings accounts.
Oh,
Nigerian bank, commercial bank.
Nigeria
is Piggyvest a good place to save?
Piggyvest alone now. This guy.
Ayodeji, can you have the floor? You have the floor. Speak on your feelings about
Are you see,
you
are,
have the floor.
yes, I cannot come and tell women what to do with their feet. I'm not a woman. I don't know how your split works.
You're not saying.
No,
say that again.
Because
I'm not a woman.
You clearly have some feelings about Piggyvest.
I have feelings
about women.
on so many things that people do, but like I promise you, I will let you know my feelings. But please just let me land. Just like land. I promise you, I will actually like honest. I'll tell you what I think.
Okay.
But in terms of spending or investing, misconceptions. No, sorry, not misconception, but investing.
Mistakes,
I don't want to say gaps. Mistakes is a good word to use. Sure.
Mistakes.
Right.
So, like women, I said, obviously.
Yeah.
The top is obviously saving in Nigerian commercial bank savings accounts, right? I'm just putting your money there monthly, thinking that you're doing something, but you're actually
doing nothing.
Money.
You are losing money like mad.
You're losing money, right? Another mistake I see is not not taking risk, especially when you're young. Like if you're in your 20s, like early 20s, you have no commitment. Right. And I see you doing fixed income instruments, but you're heavily weighted towards fixed income instruments, T-bills and stuff. I'll think you're serious, first of all, because what are you doing there? Right. As a young person, if you're not playing in like more riskier assets, you should be actively diversifying your assets, playing in global investment spaces, right? And taking advantage of the fact that you are young. So it's time for you to start small, start growing small, start investing in stocks, start buying like crypto, if you understand this space like better than I do, right? NFTs and stuff. Just not applying yourself, right? And just kind of limiting and sticking within what you know. But the thing is that billionaires and millionaires, like they always start on someone, and young people don't know the privilege of time that's on their side. Even if you invest in a stock and it tanks today, and you have the privilege of being alive in 20 years and that stock will rise and give you 1,000%. Stocks can
assuming the company doesn't crash tomorrow.
Yeah, assuming, right?
All things being equal.
Force majeures. Yeah, all exactly, right? So I think for me, these are the two, right? Which is one, again, like investing in your savings and putting in commercial bank accounts that's giving you below inflation returns, right? And the other one is just like not using time as a good tool to grow.
And I was going to say that people who don't have the privilege of youth that are a bit further along, what do you think they should be looking at in terms of where they should apportion their money and how they should look to be diversified, or how they should look to play in that sort of space?
Okay, obviously, like I always say, if time is not on your side, that's why I'm about to kick the bucket.
I never said that.
Or maybe not even there, maybe like close to or something like that. Obviously,
let's say someone that's like late 40s, like the person still has a lot of life
you still have time now. But you're not that young.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
With kids.
Sure.
You're married with kids now and you want to be safer, right? You can't just take risky. Obviously, like money market funds, particularly in Nigeria, where they're giving you like 23% returns, right? Money market funds, if you invest in stocks, I'll say invest in safer stocks like infrastructure funds, NIDF, UCAP, all those like NRIT. Invest in like non-oil assets, like non-oil stocks, like sectors, which are less volatile.
Something safer.
Even long-dated T-bills give you good returns and they're relatively safe, right? Nothing happens because the government, they can just print out more money. Bonds, right? I expect someone that is above the age of 40 to now be more like index funds, ETFs, like those kind of safer, but they still give you a good return kind of fund and assets. That's where like I kind of see, even when I'm 40 by then, I think I'll just probably just do gold.
So all of the sort of vehicles you've been mentioning are quite Nigerian, West African or African focused. Are we not looking to work within the international markets as well? global?
No,
Okay.
it's still like index funds are much popular in America.
Okay.
MMFs, like T-bills are a huge thing in America as well. Gold is a massive commodity, right? But bonds are well traded in America. This even applies more in America than in Nigeria, because in America you have a lot of like infrastructure and debt funds that are listed on the exchange. But in Nigeria we only have about two that are listed now. NIDF and one other one are listed. But America, you have a field of stocks that are safer than what we have in Nigeria. So yeah, it kind of applies globally. But I always like to think about my people first. Up blacks.
Sure, why not? Energy. And I guess, in terms of the Mule, sort of how are you and your team working to make investing more accessible and less intimidating for women that want to be more educated, and even those that even want to work more in the space?
So I use the color pink to talk about very serious things. I think I start from there, right? When people think about finance, they think about like professional colors: green, dark green, blue, white. I start by introducing very bright colors that they appear like I'll seem or sound childish. But I use that intentionally to show that even finance can be presented in this manner and it's still solid, top tier advice, right? It doesn't have to appear in the professional. When I was building the brand for the meal and I was looking at what finance companies usually do, I saw like lots of like boring old, like even fonts, like Garamond, like all those like serif fonts. And I was like, no. I want something very playful, right? Let's start there. Something easy on the eye, something digestible. Not everyone has the attention span that can take in information when it looks like this, right? Let's present this information in this way and let's see how it's received, right? When something that is so complex appears on a different color, so you've won about 10%, right? Some people can now even say, okay, like this looks even easier to grasp. I start from there. And then I send out, so the Mule sends out bi-monthly newsletters to the community, where first of all, I have a structure where I give like summary updates. I talk about the economy in the clearest way. So if anything's happening, so I think I recall when the tariffs situation was happening with America, there was a newsletter that went out and I explained exactly, even down to what tariffs mean and how tariffs are like taxes, right? But we have all these words that sound fancy, but actually just mean the same thing, right? They kind of mean you understand it, but we've just used one word. So I try to say like, look, and I don't want to dumb anything down. Like I don't want to encourage an anti-intellectual community. You must think and you must know, right, that this is a word, but it's not too complex to understand. You understand it. It's very clear. So after like I follow like a certain structure, I always try and like do a dictionary at the end of my newsletters where like I explain every single word in more detail using example scenarios. I'm very big on like using a scenario to explain a concept very well. And I use that to explain tariffs. And someone emailed back to say, this is so good. Like I didn't understand what was going on before, but this example really helped me understand what's happening and why Trump is saying reciprocal taxes and why that tariffs, and why that's not actually sensible to do, right? It's not really clear. It doesn't make any sense. So that's what I do. I always seek feedback because I remember my first ever the Mule newsletter and the feedback I got was like, oh, I don't understand. And I was so pained. I was like, what? Like, you don't understand? Like, I was so sad. I was like, hey, I have to go back to drawing board. I need to even make this clearer, right? And then even when I read it back, I was like, this is Haba now. Haba, this is like you're missing what's in your head directly, not breaking it down in very clear, digestible. You're not dumbing it down, but you're breaking it down in a way that's very clear to people, not vomiting too much information on the A4 document, but breaking down all these things and saying, this is a scenario and I'll explain this to you. Let's put some numbers behind it so you still understand the numbers as well. And then I end with a dictionary. And then I love that the newsletters, they end with like actionable steps. So it's not just like education. It's like, guys, okay, take out like 15K or take out like $10. Download this app. This is the link to the app. Buy this stock. This is the stock. This is the reason why I'm telling you to buy the stock. This is the recommend. Although obviously I end with a disclaimer because obviously I'm a lawyer and I'm smart.
Yes, because you can't actually give
I can't tell you what to do, right? But I always recommend that you guys follow. And as God will have it, my advice is we praise the Lord Almighty. Have never failed. Like I always, someone had come back to me to say that, she had made profit off of a US stock that she bought. Someone came and said, oh, they made like 40%. And I was like, yeah, exactly. Like I think the first step with investing is always actually like investing. Once you get the app, you buy the stock, you realize that this is not this gargantuan monster that I thought it was. It's not that hard. And it's one thing I always try and do. Like I always end my letters saying, okay, even if you didn't understand that, okay, fuck all of that I've said. Go to the app store, get this app, right? I give my recommendation. I give it 3 or 4 like app examples. And I say, these are the stocks I think, right, are great. This is why I think, this is what I think will do well. Then let me now teach you as well how to even invest. So you just don't go and buy at any price. When you're buying a stock, this is what you need to know. You need to look at the markets and then price yourself below the market. And I have to do a whole scenario teaching about like going to a market and like a stock market, like an actual market where you go and buy and sell, right? So I think the best thing about my lectures is that I end with actionable steps where I say, go and do this, like get this asset, get this fund, invest in this fund, do this, do that. Every month, you must be investing in your stock consistently. I believe that what solves a bad decision or a bad stock decision is, or like a bad finance decision is time. Time heals everything, including your finance, right? Even if you buy a stock today and it tanks, unless the company, like all else being equal, unless the company is closed down, you probably recover. You will do well in the long run. Be consistent. Stuff like buy the dip. I believe in those kind of things as well. I did was shaking his head there. But so far from what I've seen, like historically, I always believe in you can survive a bad run, right? And the key of all keys, diversification, right? So as long as you don't put your eggs in one basket, you are good, right? You are great. One stock tanking or the entire stock market tanking should not kill you because all your eggs are not in one basket. They're not in one global basket. They're not in one asset basket. They're not in one like sector basket. You are well spread out and you're good. Yeah,
Agreed.
I love thinking about that. Yeah.
Kachie, what do you think about this in terms of, overall advice or things to do or things that you are already doing?
I think it's, of course. Just like, she spoke about diversification. I was telling her about diversifying my plugs. You have to diversify how you're dropping money or where you're dropping money. And also, one part that really struck me is what you said about, the gargantuan view of, oh my God, investing, stock markets, oh my God, adulting, financing, la da. It's actually in starting. And then when you start, you get the knowledge, the experience, even if sometimes it's so funny because I literally had a whole 1.5 hour conversation about the same thing yesterday. That's why that piggy vest thing is funny because that person swears. But anyway, he was also saying the same thing about
piggy vest. Hey, please, I'm on you. Look, Odun, please.
Yeah, in trouble.
It's so funny.
It's so funny. Actually, I went to school with Odun. They're going to come for you. Now you said,
Ayodeji, Ayodeji. Not me. Odun, please.
I don't know. If you guys want me to get into this, I can. Like, it's not a problem with piggy vest. Piggy vest are business. They're trying to make their money. But like, don't let them, and I don't want to say use, but like, don't be the tool that empowers their money making thing, right? And and my thing is on this whole thing is I'm not a woman. I can't speak for women. I can tell you what I do personally.
Way.
Me personally, I'll give you my not a woman. I know you must have been fooled, not a woman. My major things, me personally, and this is advice I will give my siblings, my friends, whatever. Only invest in things that you kind of understand what is happening. That you have an idea of what's going on, right? Like, and again, no offense, but I've heard this whole thing of investing on company logos and names. The most insane thing I've ever heard in my life, but it seems to be quite consistent, right? And that's why, funny enough, some sort of trading apps don't even have logos because, like, brother, like, please, let's be serious here, right? This is a serious business, right? First thing, you need to know what you're doing. I'm not saying that you have to be like into the detail. I'm and be reading the pamphlets from the AGM. Not what I'm saying, but you should have an idea of what the company is doing and
how they
perhaps
make
what
money, they lose money.
some kind of broad view. As I said, we don't need to be Modupe and be inside it and be studying how the market has been tracking over the last 60, 90, 100 days. Don't need to do that.
Real.
Just have an idea first thing. Second thing is, I'm so sorry. Any money you're investing with, it has to be money that you're okay with losing. Obviously, the money will aggregate over time. But don't tell me that, okay, I earn 100K, I'm putting 70K on investment. No, now. What are we doing?
But it depends. It depends. No, don't do that advice. It depends. It depends.
You might as well go to bet. No, you might as well go to Bet Nigeria now. Just use Bet Nigeria since you want to drop
legitimately.
It depends.
On what?
So you can invest in assets that are 100% safe, right? Bonds and T-bills are 100%.
And DC, the reason is not so much that you would lose the money, but it's more so your investment habit or strategy has to be sustainable, right? And it has to be able to marry with your day-to-day realities, right? I don't think because you have other obligations you need to fulfill. As Kachie was saying, there's transportation, as women like to do, there's beauty and lifestyle. You need to eat. Don't go and
so
pack
men don't
all
do
your
beauty and lifestyle.
Oh my God, I'm just giving examples. You're missing
Stop
the
saying
point.
this thing.
This is how people.
She's not missing
This is
the
how
point.
people.
Because you said it like 4
point.
times now.
Yes.
You said men, please, you guys go and do a manicure.
Is there a force that
go and do facial?
Why don't you paint your nails? Go and get some fucking facial.
Go and do facial. Go and do facial.
Your back is aching you because you've not pressed it.
Your hair. You lose hair when you're 30.
What's up with your hairline, nigga?
Go and do living conditions.
Don't say that.
This is a crazy agenda.
Yeah, it's not an agenda. It's the truth.
Sorry.
What are you talking about?
No problem. Sorry. The thing I'm trying to say is, I think invest with the idea that you have other things you want to do with your finances. Keep that in mind. No, I'm not saying that you lose your money, but just sort of be able to invest, but it shouldn't hamper your abilities to meet your present day realities and obligations, right? That's sort of how I look at it, right? So you need to know what the company is doing. You need to invest in a way that sort of I don't want to say make sense, but just in a way that you can still do things you need to do as of today and whatever else, medium to long term, depending on the security you want to buy. It's not everything like quickly easy to liquidate, right? As Modupe was saying, if I have a break of gold before I can sell it, I have to move around and do things. Obviously, I can sell it, but it's not like I can sell it. No. You know, for like prime example, like if you have stocks, the market can close. Even if you want to sell your stock now, you want to get your money into the market opens, and that's another.
And you don't get money. Yeah, you get money in T plus 3 days in Nigeria.
Can you even see? It doesn't even come in like, so there are so many sort of different things you want to use. So that's another thing to understand, that you just need to be careful with the way you apportion the money. This is why you
subscribe to the Mule, because we teach all these.
You said for women now. I mean, I'm saying that just as a general advice.
Because God will help you. God will help you.
Honestly, God hasn't called me for that sort of thing. That's your thing. I love and appreciate you for that, but that's not where I'm at. But just my people who are interested in doing that.
Low-key,
right.
I have a slight statement. You know, I like to chat outlandishly.
Oh, brother.
Is it not still fucking investment? If all these baddies in the club that are even investing in BBLs and shit, it's an investment too.
I agree.
Thank you so much. Because I actually wanted to say that.
They are finding their target market too. They invested in that eyelash, and their skin is popping.
Oh my God.
Korean
I wanted to say that.
Shout out to Korean skincare.
I wanted to say that.
And
I wanted to say that.
They might have nothing
but I was
there.
like,
but by the time
I don't want to bring up that point.
Oh no! I mean, it's what it's what we're experiencing every time. And
we think assets is only financial correct. Beauty is an asset.
It's a huge asset right now. Like, come on.
Beauty is an asset.
Rihanna literally
is currency.
Like,
besides
pretty girl.
I don't know what's happening this week.
How did Rihanna become a billionaire?
Listen, beauty is currency.
Sure.
Especially in Lagos.
Especially in Lagos. Hello.
Shout out to
in terms of the
invest
substantial.
In yourself.
Exactly.
Sure.
In terms of the substantial, right? How did Rihanna become a billionaire? It's not skincare abuse. Hello.
I thought it was because of music, something else. Sure, that's neither here nor there.
Definitely not just that. Hello, album.
Okay.
Right, it's not just because of that. Fenty did a lot, but that's
sorry.
That's in another perspective. But that same beauty and lifestyle you're talking about is still an investment because you have to put in for what you want to get out. And they know what they put in. And trust me, by the time they get out that club.
And what about Sophia, Ebuoje, and Bruna Boy?
Lamborghini. Oh God, please,
Lambo.
no.
You hear that?
I don't want to get into that.
For being chronically online and understanding understanding the social and political and economic state of the world I'm living right now.
Ayodeji talk, so we can hear you now.
This is so insane.
We can listen to you now.
We
just wanted to clear out something for you. It's no attack. We just said let's give you more clarification.
Thank you guys for always keeping me grounded.
Anytime.
I appreciate you so much.
Anytime. Got you.
Anyways, as I was going around to say, right, if you follow those sort of tips of knowing the company, investing in, and also as Modupe said as well, diversification is always good. Don't go and pack all your money in one stock, right? You can have, and honestly, if you want to have a smaller portfolio, like you don't have to own, let's say 30, 40 different stocks. You can own 5 in whatever you like, whatever you can keep track. It depends on what you're interested in, right? Like, and how you want to sort of divide your money, right? Just make sure you understand what you're doing. You diversify, right? And also there's a very nice thing about compounding. Like, I think it's always good to, just keep putting money in. Exactly. Over a period of time, just keep putting in, just keep throwing it in and see how it goes. And obviously you can get into the more complex things like T-bills and, and index funds and all those other funny things. But as I stress, don't, like I said, just take it step by step. And Kachie said something earlier, no offense. I'm not saying it's like Naira bets, but like if you don't study up on what's happening, it can end up being like Naira bets. So, just try to be as aware as you can, right? Just, try your best and also be aware. And I think you should be okay. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Obviously, a company can pack up tomorrow. It shouldn't happen because of the SEC and things like that, but fingers crossed. And also, me personally, I say this all the time. I don't care what anybody says. Go and argue with your daddy. Crypto is insane. If you're investing in crypto, whatever you see there, just take it like that. Anything you see in that crypto space, if you make 100x or you go down by 1000x, sorry, it is what it is. Because people say, we don't want regulation, we have blockchain, blah, 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 blah. The problem with that is that the SEC sort of guarantee that at least plus minus you'll be okay. They can go and hold the owner somewhere. Me today, I can start my own crypto. Go and create one bullshit website and tell you that this crypto is based on I'm investing in this, I'm creating this new technology that can do this, do that, and then we start my own Ponzi scheme. I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. The new investors are paying off the old investors, and I sustain it for as long as I can, and then I just pull out all the money and I run away, and nothing will happen to
Trump coin.
Nothing. All these meme coins. Modupe said NFTs. Anybody that bought the NFT thing that time, I'm so sorry. You are fucking insane. Why did you buy that?
Some people understand it very well and they play the market and they succeed.
Yes, and so because you need to know when to get in and when to get out. But as a casual, you can lose so much fucking money. Why did you buy, I don't know, some random people were selling NFTs. We've not even heard of it again. I'm even surprised you mentioned when you said it just came to my mind.
I think the key point here is always understand what you're doing. And don't let understanding stop you from starting though.
Sure. Just don't buy NFTs. Don't be a fucking moron.
If you understand it and you understand the concept well, you can play safely in the market.
Like I said, Modupe is the yin to my yang. She says play safe. I said don't buy the fucking NFT.
Right.
Please. Please.
A match made in Ojuelegba.
Effectively, yes. Don't buy the NFTs. Be careful with crypto. But if you make money, good for you. But if you lose money, don't come and complain. When you were tweeting rocket moon the other day that you have made, you've done things.
I'm sorry.
Prayer hands.
Do you know what you're doing? You're literally giving me such an insight into how you're going to be as a dad.
Bro.
Crazy.
Don't come and tell me you bought some bullshit NFTs. I'll lose it.
I don't believe in crypto because I don't think that it teaches the right mindset to grow money.
It's literally gambling.
It's very, very get rich quick scheme, and that's not how wealth is built.
But some people have used this and have blown. Some people have become millionaires off it because they know how to play the market. They know how to get in, get out.
That is the rare 1%. That's the rare 1%. The average Joe will not get that money. They will actually suffer.
I have a friend. We studied engineering engineering together. I studied engineering. He was doing math calculations, studying the graph. He was extrapolating. I said, look at this guy. Degree you don't send for is to follow cryptograph that you are doing. He made money, don't get me wrong. He made money.
It works for him.
But I said, I'm not part. I don't understand it. I have other things on my mind than to be calculating graphs and market trends and... Anyways,
I believe that wealth can be built and has been built historically, right? And like historical evidence has shown that wealth has come about consistent investing, discipline, right? Let's not let go of over a period of time.
You don't just wake up tomorrow.
My favorite thing, compounding interest, help you actually grow your money. That's how, that's my way to wealth. It's not a gamble, as Ayodeji said. It's not a, oh my gosh, 1,000% tomorrow, or probably a Ponzi pyramid scheme.
See, anybody that promises you more than 30% returns over a period of less than 6 months is a thief, or whatever business they are doing. In fact, everybody will be doing that business is not real.
Last year, what I always say is the higher the risk, the higher the return. So, which is what I equate to love as well. Love is risky, right?
No, come back. You're going far. Bring it back. This is a money talk. Leave love to one side.
Let's speak. I need you to
thank you.
Speak, my dear.
They teach women to shrink themselves. They say to women,
smaller.
Otherwise, you worth.
I'll lock off this podcast now. You guys should not vex me. I'll lock off the whole thing. I'll just unplug.
But I was saying, they have the risk, they have the return. If anyone's offering you 30%, just know they're taking 30%. You're taking 3,000% risk, right?
That's easy for you.
If someone is offering you 15% and they have an A grade as per their credit ratings A, and junk bond countries like Nigeria and Co are giving 40%, right? Just know that your money can come and not come out.
That's easy for you.
God will help you, Sha. Maybe if we don't pray, hallelujah, challenge us on fasting. Can help you get the money out.
I'll not pray with you. I will laugh at you. You saw 30%, you said, yeah, that's what I want to.
What do you mean? Hedge funds are eating good. Here is a hedge fund return.
Because those guys are the professionals. They are the market movers. They know what they're doing. What's the name of this? There's a name that they call for individual investors. What's the name that they have for it? Us, as we're just here, that we're just retail investors. Yes.
Yeah, retail investors.
We will be the ones that lose out. See, in 2008, as bad as the government bailed out those big banks and businesses. As individual, you don't want losing your house, you don't want losing your savings, you don't want your life is fucked.
Guy.
Don't follow hedge fund. Hedge fund is moving this way. They have insurance, they have government.
Follow the mule.
As bad as sure, why not? Follow the mule. Run it.
Yeah. Learn how to invest. Women, I love you.
Literally.
Now, speaking about the mule, where do you see the mule in what? This is the most professional question-ish that we've asked in this podcast, but
that's a lie.
Where do you see?
That's a lie. Whatever you want to say is a lie. It is a lie. I'm just clarifying you're about to lie.
Please,
Kachie is right. Kachie right.
You don't even know the question. Right. You're just saying she's right.
Why do I need to know all these things?
That's supposed
to be right and wrong.
Thank you very much. More power to you. Don't mind that other person.
Sure.
Anyway, so basically, obviously, you have a lot of passion. You're pouring into the mule. You're pouring into financial literacy. In another perspective, just making sure women, not just women, but everybody else that is also, affiliated with the mule, and your knowledge capacity, of course, is being advised on being properly financially literate, or just putting their money where their mouth is, and in a very reasonable form. So where do you see the mule in I don't want to give 5 to 10 years, but what are your prospects for the mule? What do you want it to be besides just advising people? If it's their big dream.
I want it to be an asset management firm. I want to build an asset management firm that's an actual SEC licensed investment manager and actually has a fund and invests in funds. Yeah. So the Mule is my step one into building that community, and my first step into recommendations and advising and actually putting in the work and starting out in this really financy world, and doing things my own way and seeing whether. Also testing my own discipline and consistency and how I show up, even with noisy streets, consuming a lot of my time, and how I show up with the women that are looking forward to my newsletters every month and investing basis of my advice. So I think that's my goal. Long term is to have my own asset management firm that really, really grows into something. I don't want a huge, like I'm not like a Warren Buffett kind of. I want a nice,
something
boutique,
healthy,
medium size, healthy that just
you cash
invests.
out like mad. Yeah,
normal. I swear, cash out.
Like I just want like that. And that's my goal.
Awesome. So, of course, there are lots of young, just like how you mentioned, like with jurisprudence and on whatnot. There's a lot of youngins that would definitely be listen, come and listen to the podcast. So, for lack of being cliche, what's like if it was a 22, even a 40-year-old woman, man that's listening right now, like what proper advice would you give her or him about money? Like something that you live by. Not just save well, take risks if it makes sense. What's one thing that you live by that also gives you discipline? What would you tell them?
Delete child deck and not those apps for yourself.
Rest. No.
Delete
Rest.
In the mud.
No. We cannot see.
I love you guys.
These are potential sponsors. We can kill one. We can't kill all of them. We are not deleting no goddamn child deck.
Oh, okay, but piggy vest, right?
Sure, fuck piggy vest for the interim. If piggy vest come back and say, yo, they want to do a thing, we always believe that you guys like, man, I had a piggy vest, well. I had a piggy vest account, chat.
No.
But I'll say delete all those apps first of all and start like the most practical. Start cooking your own food.
But you guys say you can't cook, so how do you live this advice you are giving?
I beg. Oh God, this guy.
I'm just asking for the audience. You people say you can't cook, so why are you saying that you need the apps?
We spoke about it. Did you see the experience? Did you ask? Okay, you know what? Hey, let me do. You've not even seen the substantial part. You've just had an answer. Some people can say, "Oh my God, I'm not hearing you well." In fact, they'll say, but they heard what you said. Did you?
I heard it. So I have to ask.
Let me tell you how I do it, and I can't cook. I mooch off my friends and my family. My mom just said, "Oh, Modupe, I just sent you food now." That's how I do it.
But your mommy that has the child egg, shouldn't you advise her to?
She doesn't have child egg. My mom is a traditional woman.
But say she's sending you. Where is it? Oh, she's cooking and she's sending with the driver to come and
Yes.
Or delivery. Dispatch.
Delivery. My loving friends that I love so much, they also cook for me. Like, come on now. They cook me over.
Ayodeji, if you want us to cook for you, so just say the truth. I got you. I got you.
You that should be begging me so I can help you people out. You should be begging me so I can do things for you. Forget about it.
Sauteed water with ice cubes and shreds.
Okay, no problem. And these are the issues with this podcast. It's fine. Okay, no problem.
Fine. And also, in terms of noisy streets as well, there's a question I wanted to ask before we even close off. Do you have as much as you're collaborating with people, and this is also a manifestation point, do you have a dream collaboration, with maybe some influencer or somebody on noisy streets? Is there any dream collabs in the future, something like that? Besides BTS that we know about already.
Dream collab. I don't really have one.
Okay, that's fine.
But someone I really want to work with, I guess I have dream partners. So
okay,
I would say embassies, foreign embassies in Nigeria. I really want to work with them for noisy streets and some of our projects that we do. I think that, the UN, African Union, even though we're already kind of on the low, maybe off the record, but we're doing some work with African Union already. But I think I really love working with international organizations that pay in foreign currency. Absolutely. So those are my dream people.
Absolutely.
Right? Those people that pay in FX and across
Say less. My dream guest is Davido, and I'm manifesting. I love David. I want David on here.
You guys should manifest Kim Namjoon of BTS. He's actually very brilliant and he'll do well. And he speaks very well. And he speaks English
as well.
Absolutely.
Very
Top G.
Top guy, isn't it?
Top G.
My last question, more or less, would be, obviously we see how it is there's a bit of a disjunct with men in finance or men in financial empowerment. Please put your fingers down, Ayodeji.
I'm supporting your position.
You are? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, how the tables have turned. Anyway, so in any case, of course, is there any way you think, women are sometimes, even whether or not you're a trophy wife, whether or not you're even just adulting on your own, women are more or less excluded for the most part of the idea, excluded, quote unquote, from wealth building conversations, all that, just like how you said, even your former workplace, very male centered, quote unquote, right? So is there any way you think, or what would you say you feel that should happen for men to show up better in terms of financial empowerment for women, like actually be allies, not just observers, if at all?
I don't know. I guess just stay out of women's spaces.
Good answer.
That's the highest. I guess nothing women can do already. Unfortunately, all men are unwilling participants in this system.
Knowingly and unknowingly.
Right.
I think you should, but yeah.
Like some people like Ayodeji that want to be on the female side of things, that want to support women, may not they find themselves some choices are already made for them.
Yeah.
But I guess just stay out of women's spaces, stay out of things that are built for women. Just that's enough. You are doing 70% of the work that many men are not doing if you just stay out of women's spaces, and don't try and put your mouth there. Actually just remove your mouth from things. I think that is a lot of things. It is a lot and covers a lot. Although I support all men. Can we reject when people raise their hand up?
That's right, we can reject.
I just want to say one thing.
Denied.
Okay, thank God I can give myself a platform. Like I said, another thing men can do is give wonderful women platforms to discuss their initiatives and their ideas and how they're pushing it forward, and how, sort of creating a room, creating more space for these narratives and conversation. That's what more men can do. Sure.
Yeah, your point is valid, but Modupe, I just want to take us back to when you said the audacity of men when they push back, that he just did that right now. We literally said, put your hand down. As much as we want to listen to you, but
and he said, my human rights grant me the freedom of speech. I don't even know why I raised my hand up. I just said, look at this. I love that though, and I'm learning.
It is what it is. As a human being, you need to move through life with a level of confidence.
It must be nice.
Whether man or anything in between, you have to have this reckless confidence.
Don't put our gender inside. Please just speak about human beings, animals, and women in between. Anybody,
have confidence, you move forward. And just to add one more thing, as Modupe said, that I wanted to sort of echo is, do not just be a hearer, but be a doer of these words.
Yes.
Make things happen, push forward. And I think that we can have a more equitable society, because thank God for fintechs and MFBs and whatever platforms people use to trade or buy securities, but they are more accessible as of today. So you don't need from the comfort of your own home. You don't need to have a stockbroker or whatever nonsense you need to do. Let's just get in your house. For the sake of example, download Piggyvest
and start the Piggyvest. It's not like Bamboo, Invest
Bamboo
Nigeria.
is good too. I have
Cardinal Stone.
Cardinal Stone. You can use. I also use Wealth.ng. I use that app. I have a bunch of apps there.
There's so many apps.
We have a very cute and nice trivia section we want to get to ask you. We know you believe in yourself. Let's hope it yields correct answers.
And even if I don't know the answer, I still look confident.
Hey, no, no working. We don't do that here, girl.
Do you get?
Okay, do I get options though?
Some have options, some don't. Kachie, I'll let you run with it because you're a lot better than this than I am. So please have a go.
I know having confidence in your gender. What's going on?
Why is it gender? It's a personal problem. I don't say my gender.
Was a trap.
You're better than
Jesus.
me. I can't fall for the trap. I've been here before.
All right, fine. So, some of them might, some of them don't, but this first question doesn't. So, are you ready? Tonight's very quick fire round.
I am. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. So, first question: which country is the largest in the world?
Russia.
Okay. This babe knows things. Okay. This is a trap. Fumbi, I know you set us up with this thing. If she gets everything, we have to scrap. We have to cancel the
cancel this trivia.
And yes.
Is that why we're here?
What? Oh, okay.
Right.
Am I supposed to get it wrong?
I mean,
no, you're meant to do your best. But I believe we fed you the answers
because of your
behind
intro.
the scenes.
Because of your intro, there's an agenda already. Okay.
As massive agenda.
Massive agenda.
Now.
No,
please, guys. I'm just trying my best
it's
here.
Okay, it's okay. Oh yeah, let's do next question. In fact, this one I'm not giving you options. The next question is
options.
I mean,
this is
because you're gonna get this one. This one is easy now. This is a question.
What's the answer? I don't know.
How do you know it's easy to me?
I know the answer before I even saw the options, but it's okay. Oh, yeah,
so you guys know that it's okay.
What's the answer? I don't know the answer.
It's okay.
Let's have the question, please.
Oh, yeah,
let's have it. Let's fucking have it. Come on.
Are you ready for the question?
Let's fucking have it.
The national emblem of Nigeria is 1, an elephant, 2, eagle.
The national animal emblem.
Yes. Is it elephant, an eagle, an elk, or an earwig?
Fuck is an earwig, bruv? What is that?
An eagle?
Duh. Yes, it is an eagle.
But we have elephants on our police coat of arms. Is that one not part of?
That is based on the departments. No.
Okay.
EFCC
I didn't
is
even
also
know
a
that.
bird, and police is an elephant. There's different. We clearly like the jungle, but that's fine.
This is so easy, bro.
We live in that, and it's very snaky.
Yeah, they are
Says
crooks.
a lot. All right. So next question: what country introduced paper currency?
So easy.
Please, I get options. I don't know that question. I don't know that.
India, Japan, China, England. I can't find any friends.
India, Japan, China, England. Let's say England.
It's China.
Really? That's
so
shocking.
The agenda is in place. It's shocking.
Yeah, China invented paper. They invented fireworks. They invented a bunch of things. They're quite up and doing.
Auntie.
Yes. All right, next question. Nigerian's currency, aka the naira, in 1973 replaced options are francs, pounds, shillings, or marks.
What was the previous currency before the naira? Is the question, I think.
Yeah.
Pounds.
Yeah, very easy. You should have said cowrie.
Because we were. That's traditional money.
Yeah.
And the last question. Pounds. This is very.
We didn't get any fun questions like Paul.
That's the last question is a fun question. Very
okay.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a serious conversation. As much as we're laughing about what we're saying, people are taking nuggets from this, so we have to seem serious.
I don't even know the answers to this last question. What is this?
Oh my gosh, chronically online test. Let's go.
Now, Jess Day, Nick Miller, Winston Bishop are all characters on what TV show?
How's she gonna get that?
Okay, can I have options?
Yeah, Kachie.
The issue is that I only watch K-dramas, so you guys have got me here.
Four options.
You got me.
DBS Maids, Gossip Girl, New Girl, and Desperate Housewives.
New Girl.
Now the question is, how did you know? This is why this thing is rigged, because you say you don't know. How can it?
It's very simple. It's very simple. I've watched Devious Maids and New Girl.
I basically noted shows that you should have seen and would have heavy female characters. So the only one is New Girl.
I haven't watched the New Girl though, so I just thought that the other three that I've watched.
Yeah, the options are guys.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, well done.
Okay. That was fun. 4 over 5. Do I get like a prize or something?
Yeah, you can ask Ayodeji. He has a lot of
these are the issues. When it comes to prizes, that's when you ask me.
At the beginning of the recording, you said you had a prize for the best this, the best that. So you clearly know where they keep all the stock. And besides Audacity as well. So, I mean, you can give Audacity as well. That's a great prize.
Okay.
You are the prize of you are doing very well, and we're proud of you, Modupe. We appreciate you. You're up and doing.
Yes,
we love a woman that's up and doing on the Square podcast.
Thank you, Jesus.
God is making things happen.
God is good,
and He will continue to as well, because your knowledge knows no bounds, honestly. And I love what I personally love is your excitement towards the future, not just based on what you're doing, but based on also what you want to share. Because, knowledge shared, knowledge gained. And you're willing to, keep on being a sponge more or less and just develop, besides the financial part, whether or not you want to build a business out of it, that's all well and good. However, the fact that you want to share with the world your knowledge and all things encompassed as well is very beautiful. Besides being a woman out of that, just being human and wanting better for people is very commendable. So continue with that. Okay.
Thank you. Ayodeji, I don't hear you.
I like your bubbly energy. That's what I like. I think you're so fun. I think you're so fun.
As an ultimate extrovert, like I feed off of energy. So
Jesus. This is how well fed. Kachie, you're feeding her like mad.
As fuck, man. I love it.
Like, to be honest, I feel like I'm satisfied.
Okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much. It's been so real. This
was fun. Thank you guys for having me.
Fun episode to have on. So you guys please like, share, subscribe. Modupe's socials will be in the show notes. Women subscribe to the Mule. Everyone check out Nosy Streets with 2 S's. Follow us, follow Kachie, follow myself. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe and comment. YouTube, please. We love you on YouTube.
Yes, we do.
Shout out to BTS. We love you guys. Shout out to Piggy Vest. We love you too. Please, Piggy Vest, we were playing. It was a joke. It was joking stuff.
Please, I'm on your side.
I don't even know who you are, but I know you're up and doing. Shout out to you guys. So you guys have a good one. Speak soon. Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
We hope you guys enjoyed that episode.
Please follow the pod and follow us. Our ads are in the show notes. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share with your friends.
Bye.
Bye, guys.